Hey, how you doing? This is Eric from Amp Live TV and the Amp Live Real Estate Show coming to you live here today on Thursday Deals Day. So hopefully you're out there rocking and rolling deals. You're on the phone, you're hunking and chunking deals, or writing up offers, filling up your pipeline, or whatever it may be. If it's real estate related, okay? If it's creative real estate related, then hey, this is the show for you. I'm going to go through several things. We're going to talk about the inflation. We're going to talk about interest rates. We're going to talk about creative real estate investing. We're going to talk about deals, the type of deals that are coming down the wire. I'm going to share with you what an NOD, what an NOT is, and what it's not. A few other things. We're going to talk about friendship deals. We're going to talk about the American Mentee Program. We're going to talk about the wins and the losses of mentees and even ourselves and others throughout the United States of America. So right now, hey, definitely, let me got some rocking and rolling. So hopefully you're rock and roll. I don't know what inspires you as far as music and rocking and rolling, but for me, it's rock and roll, heavy metal, like some classical stuff. Like a little bit of everything, just as long as it has a good beat, some good tunes to it, right? A good sound to it. I get it. Lyrics are powerful. Music's powerful at the same time. But let's get into it today. So hopefully you're out there. Welcome aboard. And hey, thank you for liking and loving. Just definitely like, love, and share. Appreciate it. You can always DM. If you got deals, send them down the wire. We'll definitely look at them and underwrite them and get you an offer within 24 to 72 hours or as time permits, right? It's a little bit different when they're coming down the wire through either a wholesaler or investor and things of that nature. If it's direct to the seller, boom, you got a referral. We'll get right on it. ASAP, speed to lead. We'll definitely take care of them and take care of you in the process as well. So right now, I got some cool stuff I wanted to share with you just right out of the gate. Some properties coming down the wire in Southern California. There's pre-foreclosures, there's NODs, NOTs, probates, vacant properties, all kinds of stuff in Southern Cal. Don't be afraid of Southern California. I get it. There's, it's a higher dollar amount. The rules are kind of crazy out here in crazy California for rentals and things of that nature. So I would suggest a few other things that I won't get into right now. But let's go ahead and I want to share something with you. Okay, this is kind of cool. It's a cool video. This is a awesome, cool vid. I'm going to put this right up here, and then it's going to probably just play automatically. Or maybe not. Okay, let's see what it does. Let's go right here. Now, let's let it roll, okay? So I'll kind of set up this video real quick because as you can say, it says sold as is, 3 value adds included, right? Now, these are properties that are coming down the wire in Southern California, all 4 counties, Los Angeles, you got San Bernardino, Riverside, and even the OC, Orange County. But this one happens to be in Los Angeles County. It's a property where it has the opportunity for 3 value adds, right? Some of the bedrooms are already ready to go. It could be grandfathered in at the end of the day, which spending maybe about $10K will actually bring up that property an extra $90,000 to $100,000 by doing certain things. It also has the garage for an ADU and the backyard because of the county and all that good stuff and where it's positioned. You can actually build another ADU. Now, obviously, you got to make sure you do your due diligence and all that good stuff. So we're just giving you some simple facts here and some information. You can make your own decision, but it's a cool pad. It's ready to go, ready to rock and roll. And it's perfect for a cash flow investor or an investor who wants a little bit of equity, but also wants to be able to, cash flow on 3 different units if they get it to that point. Right now, it can cash flow by just putting some people in there, doing a couple other things to it, and profiting, right? If you want to fix it and flip it, it's a whole totally different story. But I'm going to go ahead and just play it for you.
Sold as is, 3 value adds included. Buying it as an investment. 404,424 is legalized. $339,784 as a 2-1, both numbers published. Buying it to live in. Make it yours, then put family or rental income in the backyard. 1 lot, 1 mortgage, 1 tax bill, 1 house, up to 3 units. For more details and to view text 909-341-6629. Palmdale, SoCal area.
Rock and roll.
Address on NDA
Right.
AHA.
That's
AMP
right.
Live.
Okay,
rock and
check it
roll.
out. So I'll go ahead and put my rock and roll into the chat as always. Rock and roll. You can always, if you got questions while we're going through this, if you see the replay, put it in the chat, and we'll get you detailed information. Once again, it says, look, 3 units, 1.25 acre, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 10,000 square foot lot, right? You could probably put a 1,200 square foot in the backyard, garage, turn that into an ADU. Backyard is a detached ADU, right? And you're able to do that. So, 60-day rock and rollness, right? Let me go ahead and put this up here so you can actually see it. So as you check it out, right, single story home, that's beautiful too. Great for assisted living. If you even continue to do that and build out and turn it into a bigger assisted living, that's an awesome play for crazy Southern California, because obviously they're paying for that, and it's single family. And if you want to cash flow, that's the best way to cash flow. Whether it's assisted living, sober living, co-living, or some type of autism property is the way to rock. Let me go ahead and put this up. The upside is already built, okay? Spend some money. Obviously, 2 rooms are already framed, floored, and they're in use as bedrooms right now. County Records has the two, but you can get that sucker grandfathered in because it's been like 23 years. And maybe add a couple windows, do what you need to do for the egress and all that good stuff. 2 rooms, probably add, this guy's going to be higher than that. It's probably going to be about 445, 465,000. It'll probably add about 98,000 some change, which is pretty awesome. You can always get in touch with us right down there, right, to the highest leverage. We'll write up the deal. We'll rock and roll the deal with you. Okay, let's get back to this real quick. And our sponsors for today are VIPexecs Realty Lending and Investments. Definitely talking about hard money, conventional VA loans, creative deals as well, sub-2, single family, seller finance, lease options, all that good stuff, right? Bringing that to the table. They become your funding partner when you work with us exclusively right out of the gate. When you become a VIP buyer and get on our A list, there are some requirements, NC and D, and obviously some proof of funds, and we'll rock together. Just one time, we put it in the file, you put it in your file, and then we move forward, right? Because we're not into the circumvention stuff, the disclosure stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that's private. We want to keep it that way with the sellers, investors, and all that good stuff, right? It's just good business. You can go ahead and scan that QR code right there. That's the way to book some time with myself and get a breakout call with myself and my team. If you're wanting to rock deals, if you want to rock deals from 1 to 100, definitely reach out. Or if you're looking to do deals and you want to build a business, need some help on helping you get started, or maybe you've been spinning those wheels for 6 months to 8 months to a year or longer, and you're still spinning those wheels, no more. Guarantee it. Trust me. I'm not going to share any of the testimonials and all that good stuff. You can just go to our pages and take a look at some of that stuff. I'll put some stuff in the chat really quick so you can actually get a hold of it and you can judge for yourself at the end of the day. I'll go ahead and put that right here with some actual testimonials. Simple application. It is a selection process. So make sure we get the right people. So far, so good. Knock on wood. Been doing this for a little while and helping fellow Americans across the United States of America. And obviously through AHA, Americans Helping Americans, that is our real estate investment firm where we help fellow Americans across the United States of America, one American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, doing our part to get America back on track together with you and others across the United States of America. That is our true cause and mission. It has not changed. It's God-driven, and we've been doing that for quite a long time before even AHA and Americans Helping Americans was launched, okay? So definitely, it's not like a tagline on a freaking hat or whatever. This is our cause and mission. It's what we do. It's what I do, along with Amp Live Media, a media broadcasting and marketing company, as well as VIPexecs Realty Lending and Investments, and luxury properties, a step into excellence. You got a license, you want to hang it, definitely get in touch with me. I'll do an introduction to the broker, and if it's a good fit, awesome. I'll say welcome aboard. At the same token, if you are new, same thing. If you're seasoned, you got a team, and you just want to learn this creative real estate investing stuff, because it is the future for a while. It's the future of real estate. We're bringing in the brokerage, and real estate agents and brokers should understand and know how to do this, because they're losing money to the wholesalers, investors, and creative real estate investors. And the opposite is true too. The good agents are kicking the butts of wholesalers and real estate agents, but there's a lot fewer pool of that, simply because of how that is engulfed in the public record, or I should say the public sector. We live in the private sector, which is real estate investing, creative real estate investing, and all that other good stuff, okay? So I'll keep on rocking and rolling here. Probably thinking, well, who the heck am I? I'm Erick Jimenez, right, of Amp Live and Amp Live TV, and the Amp Live Real Estate Show. Been doing this for a little bit, been doing this content thing too. I didn't want to, but I said, hey, this is what we got to do these days. So it's pretty easy for me. It's proficient. I rocked the stage a long time ago, but I guess this is kind of like a new stage, but not really anymore, right? Because I've been doing this for such a long time, with just coming on here and sharing what I know, sharing some information, sharing what we build, and sharing the information that we've learned over the years, even now, right now, right? I'm going to get into some stuff, and I'm going to probably going to go ahead and maybe go with this, and then I'll maybe show a couple more slides, and then I'll get into what we're going to be talking about right? It's not even Friday highlights, but it's Thursday for Thursday deals day. So stay with me all the way to the end. Got some free stuff for you as well that'll help you in the business. At the same token, open door policy to reach out, touch base with myself. If you're wanting to drop your license, or you want information on that, or you want information on real estate investing and creative real estate investing, you want to know how the American Mentee Program works, definitely. We got some young men and young women that are kicking some butt right now in the industry right now, even in our own backyard. They're knocking it out of the park. They're writing contracts. They're moving very quickly. But at the same token, we only move as fast or as slow as they need to, because if they're going too fast and they're just going to stumble and crash, we don't want that. At the same token, we need to make sure that they understand and you understand the concepts, right? We don't move, even if you came aboard, we wouldn't move forward unless you understand the concepts, and then you move forward as we start progressing. And it's all about doing deals. It's all about building that foundation. So you're probably thinking, well, why me? What do I have to offer you that everybody else doesn't? So bottom line is just like, I'm in the real estate business. I love the art of the deal. I love what I call the Amp Live method, high trust selling with direct selling. I love negotiating with sellers and working out deals and putting those deals on the table. Also like working with others and seeing them rock their closing ratios as they get better and better and better, as they get excited about reading Think and Grow Rich, about financials, getting excited about the creative real estate investing realm in real estate in general, right? And then knowing after a period of time going, sheesh, this is like a superpower. It's like I have a superpower that others do not have or don't even know they have it. If they want to learn it, everybody can learn this stuff, right? If I can learn it, anybody can learn it. But it's knowing how to do it, executing, and then practice to become the expert at that. Become an expert closer, right? I got a young man who wants to be an expert closer, right? I got another young man who wants to change his life and do a different business, and real estate, he says, is it, right? I hear it all the time. It's all about building a legacy. It's all about freedom. It's all about spending more time with the family. But at the end of the day, hey, you got to pick in the beginning. You got to go to work. You got to buckle down. You got to put on the blinders to kick some ass and move forward. And sometimes, your family's going to have to understand what's going on in this business. At the end, things are going to happen the way they're going to happen, right? So you can have excuses or results. Can't have both. I hear tons of excuses from tons of people, including mentees and even investors and just everybody, even myself. We're all going to make excuses. If I don't want to do something, then I'm not going to set any appointments for that day because I don't want to work that day. Then I won't. I just won't take any appointments, right? I may take some calls here. I might get a wild hair up my butt and go, okay, cool. I'm going to do this. I'm going to call this one, this and that. But I'll get going in the deals or in the business when I should be spending some time, with the family, my daughter, my son, my other son, my wife, and this family and stuff like that. It's going to happen. But once that's why we do this, right? We do it because of our family. So let me get into this a little bit. I'm going to talk about some cool stuff and some statistics, right? There's deals out there. I'm going to show you where to get them, how to get them. Not all the deals are on the MLS. Trust me, right? There's stuff on the MLS, but then everybody else has access to that. And don't listen to the BS. Well, everybody has access to PropStream and Batch, and they have access to Deal Machine. Of course they do. And yes, data is data. It's the same wherever it is. There's good data and bad data. But if you get some good, decent, halfway decent data, it's about what you do with the data. It's about how you actually call the people and work those deals. And understanding the Amp Live method. However, whatever method you got, hopefully it works for you. Hopefully you're a closer. And if you're not, then we need to talk and we need to chat, because that's what we're here to do. That's the God-driven mission at the end of the day. But let me go ahead and pull this up real quick and we'll get into it, okay? Now, obviously it's Thursday, Deals Day. Amp Live TV, I'll be your host, Erick Jimenez of AHA, Americans Helping Americans, and obviously in Amp Live, the American Mentee Program. Today we're going to be talking about, well, where are the deals? Where do the deals actually live? Right? Not on Zillow, not on the MLS, right? In public record. Public record, you're probably going, well, what the hell? I know that, all this and that, public records, or maybe, this type of property, that type of property, abatement type stuff. No, we're talking about, I'm talking about notices of default, notices of trustee sale, NODs and NOTs, right? The foreclosure pipeline, right? There's foreclosures, there's probates out there, there's vacant properties, there's properties where people can't and don't have the money to fix up their property to get full retail, right? Everybody's coming out with a different spin on this, a spin on that. Loan companies and lending companies and real estate companies and brokerages are finally starting to adapt to all that. So I'm curious and see how that's going to go. But I'm going to show you a number that should make every investor in this room sit up, okay? Sit up straight, I should say, right? So check this out. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to share some stuff with you. I'm going to enlighten you for a second. Before I do, I'm going to pop this up real quick. I'm going to put that back in there where it says, why me? Amp Live TV, always real, raw, and standing for truth. Home of the Amp Live Real Estate Show. Host of Erick of Amp Live TV, Amp Live, and VIPexecs. I just need to pop that in there. There's also some links that I'll be dropping in here little by little as we move forward. Let me see what other one. I got one right here. Is it this one? I already put in the testimonial one. Let's see what I want to share with you. I know there's a booking link inside of the post as well. If you want to book some time with myself, pick my brain, definitely go for it. We got a webinar that's going to, oh, here it is. I'll put the link right down here in the chat as well as we get into it, because I guarantee you're going to want to get in touch with me. You're going to want to pick my brain. And if not, that's okay too. I just wish I had somebody that was offering that to me. I had to find it and seek it out and then bring tremendous value to make that happen. Not everybody's going to do that. All right. So here we go. You ready? There are over 200,000 active pre-foreclosure filings in the state of California right now. That's just the state of California. 200,000, okay? That's 200,000 homeowners who have received a formal notice that they're behind on their mortgage, right? That's 200,000 motivated sellers. And most investors don't know how to find them. They don't know how to call them. They don't know how to work them. They don't know how to position those, right? And they don't know how to help. They don't know how to help them, like I mentioned before. But today I'm going to fix all three of those, okay? We're also going to be covering something today that I first taught back in March of 2023. It's called friendship deals. It's the friendship deals model. How to become a friendship deal investor, right? The capital partner blueprint is what it's called. Now, if you've got capital, but you don't want to pick up a hammer, you don't want to run a crazy project for a fix and flip, you don't want to structure deals, then this segment is going to be built for you. That's actually built for you, guarantee it. Sponsored by VIPexecs Realty, Lending and Investments in Luxury Properties, a step into excellence. Powered by Amp Live Media, In God We Trust, AHA. Rock and roll, Americans helping Americans. Let's rock. You ready? Let's get into it. NODs and NOTs, the full breakdown, okay? Now let me walk you through the foreclosure timeline very quickly, Reader's Digest version, because understanding is key to finding those motivated sellers in real estate. Now, before I do that, let me put this back up here. We're going to go ahead and rock this a little bit down here. Boom. Just put the mug back. I'll share this with you really quick. The American Mentee Program. Scan that QR code right there. That's true one-on-one mentoring. And as we do that, I'm going to share with you some rock and roll this, okay? So here we go. You ready? All right. So let's get to it. Let me walk you through the foreclosure timeline, because understanding is the key to finding the most motivated sellers in real estate. A notice of default, we like to call it a NOD. It's a NOD is the first formal step. It gets filed at the county court recorder's office with a homeowner who's probably approximately maybe 100, 120 days behind on back payments for their mortgage, right? That's 4 missed payments. It's maybe a public record. It's actually a public record when it gets recorded, which means anyone can look it up, and you can look it up, especially in California, because California is a full disclosure state. Texas and a few other states are non-disclosed, but you can still find that information. I'll share it with you. There's certain websites, or I should say certain types of software that can still pull it up, and there's always workarounds, right? So when the NOD is filed, it opens a 90-day reinstatement window. During the 90 days, the homeowner can cure the default, pay what the owner owes, and stop the process, right? It's called reinstate that sucker. If they don't cure it in 90 days, the next filing happens, right? That's right. What's the next filing? That's the notice of trustee sale, the NOT. That also brings attorney fees, $4,000 to $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 more, plus some missed payments, and their equity starts deteriorating more and more, right? This is the notice that the property should be sold at the public auction. In California, the auction can happen as early as 21 days after the NOD is recorded, okay? And I should say the NOT notice to trustee sale, right? But I will share with you, right? It's usually about 45 days out, okay? Some laws, remember, laws always get passed and this and that and all that good stuff. So just make sure you follow the accordance of the laws. The best thing to do is what I like to call them is low-hanging fruit, right? The big dogs like BlackRock and all those other companies, they're not going to go after those type of properties. They'll just buy them from an institution and buy 1,000, 10,000, 20,000 properties or whatever they're going to buy for billions and billions of dollars, right? For us and you and other real estate investors throughout there helping our fellow Americans, right? That's called the low-hanging fruit, right? Low-hanging fruit of people that are in your general area that need your help, and they need your help right now. So now here's how here's the I said now here's the new wrinkle, right, for 2026. It's called AB. They're always coming. It's always AB, some bullshit, right? But AB 2424 gives homeowners a new right? If they list the property for sale, right, they can get a 45-day postponement of the auction. Just more BS, more BS. It's inevitable. The stuff's going to happen. Banks are going to get their properties back unless they actually reinstate or to get the property sold, right? Now, obviously, there's also a minimum bid rule. The property can't sell at the first auction for less than 67% value, which is more bullshit at the end of the day, right? It's always geared towards who? The big institutions and helping the big institutions. It doesn't help the homeowner one bit. It's all BS at the end of the day. Now, this obviously extends the total timeline from about 7.5 months to potentially maybe 10.5 months. But that's just a Band-Aid, buying time, stress. I always say, look, bite the bullet, move on, get your money, get the hell on, and start a new chapter in your life. Forget about it. And you know, the banks, you're not going to win the banks. All it's going to be is just a temporary Band-Aid for a period of time. And it sucks, right? But at least we're able to come in and help them out. The same token, right? Don't need the bank's permission to help them out. Don't need the bank's permission to do jack diddly squat. That's where we come in with creative real estate investing, sitting at the kitchen table, working with the sellers or the homeowners to figure out a solution for them. That's how it works, right? But here's check this out. But here's what matters as an investor to you, right? At every single stage between 120 and the auction, that homeowner is motivated, right? The further down the timeline, they're going to get more and more motivated. Think of it as like it's kind of like a stew, like maybe a roast, right? It's going to take time. People are a little delusional, especially in California. Texas, they're like, man, I need some help. Write me a check. How can you help me? You know, what's the offer? California, a lot of delusional sellers, a lot of people losing their properties to the banks because they're stubborn. They think they're working with them. The bank, you know, look, the bank's not their friend. The bank's their mortal enemy at the end of the day. They don't care. You're just a freaking number and a loan number, period, right? And that's that. And like I was mentioning before, I was sharing it before, look. The system was there to keep you out. Even if they allow you to buy a house, you had to jump through the hoops with a FICO score, your job. I've been on the job, all these rules, just to give you some money that other people are putting in there, and probably your own money at the end of the day, right? Because as you know how that all works, right? It's all connected at the end of the day. But it was geared towards keeping you out. It was geared it's geared to shut you down, period, for people like me and you, unless you're rich and you're part of the elite. If not, good luck to you, right? But guess what? That's no longer. That's BS, right? Creative real estate investing is out of the bag. It's been out of the bag since social media and all that good stuff, right? You do not need the permission of a bank. You don't need the permission from anybody to work a deal and to rock a deal. So I'm going to keep on rolling here. Okay, so the further down the timeline they are, the more motivated to guess. Yes, okay. Now, obviously, there's certain windows for, you know, if you're looking and working these things, right, for NODs and NOTs and NOTs, there is a golden window, right? It's the NOD stage between 100 and 210 days. Sometimes you never know, right? It could be a lot of people pull them in the first 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, you know, as they start moving forward. And there's some people that are just, hey, they're on it. You know what? I'm done. Let's move on. Make me an offer and let's go, right? So you can't, there is a golden window, but at the end of the day, the golden window is when the time is right for the seller and for you, and depending on when you connect with those people, right? So because the seller has time, right? They think they have time. 9 times out of 10, I tell people, I got time. No, you don't. It's going to come very quickly. I'll tell you a little story. There's a lady that we're going to help. You know, husband passed away. And we're going to help her. She saw some knucklehead on Instagram or whatever, and I could already tell he's inexperienced, don't know what he's doing, and they postponed it for a little bit, tried to do some BK stuff, temporary BK stuff, postponed it, but the inevitable is there. Why? Because they cannot even get a loan mod, right? Simply because they only make $1,200 a month. The mortgages are like $2,000, and they're still pretty damn cheap, right? $19,000 to $2,000, but they still got to keep the lights on. They got to feed themselves. They got to maintain the property. Heck, they don't even have the ability to show that they can afford the property on a loan mod, so they're not going to get a loan mod, period. It was just inevitable, right? But they wanted to try to keep the house, working with operators that were pretty much trying to spread it out, stretch it out, you know, who knows, whatever. At the end of the day, they did lose the property. They made a couple of bucks on it, you know, probably not much. They could have got a lot more working with us at the end of the day, and they would have moved on with their life a lot sooner, several months before that, you know, but stuff happens, right? I see people do it all the time. Happened to another guy, and I believe it was, what the heck is that up there in the Antelope Valley? Stubborn guy. We're going to offer him a chunk of cash. He was stubborn. Instead, he said, no, they're going to, you know, the auction, they'll pay more for it. Well, you don't get any money at the auction, right? You don't get diddly squat. You get zero. Calls us up at the last minute. Now, I'm not gonna lie, we've stopped sales at the last minute, the day before, but we got to have a little something to work with, right? Some sellers, you got to give us bank statements. You got to give us, the insurance information. You got to give us information on you and the property before we go out and start working a deal. Can't be thinking that you have time, because the inevitable is going to happen, and it does. I'd rather see people get their money or get some money than get no money, right? And the investor gets the property if there's equity, and then they're going to move forward on the homeowner, once was a homeowner, to vacate and leave. And or if nobody bids on it, it goes back to the bank as REO. They don't want it, but it's a non-performing note. They'll package them up with some good performing notes and sell them off to other investors, right? Or they'll just sell a package of non-performing notes to other like hedge funds and real estate investors and things of that nature. And that's just the market. It is what it is, right? The banks will always win. So check this out. So they still have equity, especially the people who bought or refinanced in 2020 or 2021. When the prices are appreciating fast, the problem is what? Problem's real, but not catastrophic in their mind. But unfortunately, that's the delusional part where it's going to happen. It's best to just bite the bullet, move on, take your best offer, and run to the hills. And at least know in 6-7 months, you're going to get credit card offers and start rebuilding your life, right? Take the money and do what you need to do. Your health is more important, I always say, right? And maybe I'm talking to sellers right now if you see this, right? Your health is more important than just a piece of property. It's just a material thing. You can't take it with you, right? And if you can offer them a dignified exit before the NOT is even filed, that's what we do, right? When we talk about our offer ladder, right? It's pretty awesome. So it's not other than, I should say, no other company does what we do. I guarantee it. There'll be hybrids of what they do and how we do it and all that good stuff, right? So I'm not going to drop like the proprietary information on what we do. It's very simple on what we do, right? It's based on closing costs. It's based on recipes. It's based on sales 101. It's based on psychology. And it's based on what? A model that is battle tested, okay? That's the play. So that's where the deals are, right? So now let's talk about, it's all sitting in public records, waiting for someone to look. They're on different types of software that you can pull up and dig, but you got to know what to pull up and all that good stuff, right? And that's where we come in to help you out with all that. Now, the offer ladder, the AMP Live method. Now, that you know, let me go back to some of this, see what we got on here, right? We're going to move this to the AMP Live TV action. I'll make sure that we got this rocking and rolling live on Facebook and social media. This should be live on social media. So definitely like, love, and share. Appreciate it. Okay, cool. We're live on Facebook, social media, TikTok, and all those other social media platforms. Let me get into this real quick. AMP Live TV. We'll have a couple things that I'll give to you for free to help you out, to help you find those deals. Once again, if you don't know who I am or you see me, right, there's my little speaker card at the end of the day on what I do, what we do. It's creative real estate investing. I'm a creative real estate investor. Been doing this for a little bit of time. I have this for you. Surfing for Deals, going to help you explode your email, text, and phone with sellers that want and need to sell. I would definitely, you could scan that QR code right there and get your copy. It's absolutely free. There's a video. There's some templates, easy peasy stuff. It's working right now. Obviously, we got F-bomb rocking deals by doing exactly the same thing before we get into data and CRMs and all that other good stuff, because he has enough right now deal flow. He's even going to have more, so he's going to be overwhelmed once we set up the other systems. And then also get this, you can grab this for free. This is the calculator, sub-2 calculator. Definitely need to have this in your arsenal. If you don't know what a sub-2 deal is, well, you can jump on this real quick. Let me see if I have it available. Sub-2, there it is. Yeah, let me go ahead and pull that up for you. You can actually sign up for this. It's absolutely free. Get the calculator, and it comes with some juicy bonuses, right? So you actually know what the hell a sub-2 deal is. That would help, right? Of course it would. You're welcome. All right. So who is VIPexecs Realty Lending and Investments, right? You need a free home search for your guys and gals who have been taught, hey, I need to find some agents. I need to find some unicorn agents. There you go. Scan that QR code, get access to the MLS for Southern California, start hunting deals, start rocking deals, and start making some friends. And then, hey, start making some offers and getting some deals. Made in America, empowering Americans through creative real estate investing strategies. Right there, you can scan that QR code. I believe it's right there. Doing. There you go. You can scan that QR code and jump aboard the American Mentee Program. That's our flagship program. It is a selection process, so you got to fill out the application. For a good fit, we'll chit chat, we'll talk. It's not a pitch at all. The bottom line is just going to be, are we a good fit? And if we're a good fit, you take care of the hard costs. We'll rock and roll. We'll get you going with the done with you program or the done for you program, which I'm not going to get into right now because this is more about rocking and rolling deals, right? And obviously that's what you want. You want deals. You want results. This is not about watching a bunch of videos and PDFs and Facebook groups and kumbaya. This is about getting in to help you build a business and plugging in models that work for you and helping you get your ratios up so you can practice and become the best at what? Rocking and closing deals and then expanding and growing your business. All right, so you can scan that QR code right down there, boing, 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 right there. You can scan over there. It says join the live now. That's the Facebook group. You want to post your deals, you can. You can go over to the corner and post your deals. Join the Facebook group. It's absolutely free. And when you're ready to amplify the art of the deal, definitely reach out and we'll help you out one way or another or point you in the right direction if it's just not a good fit, okay? Now, mortgage for millennials. Yes, even you guys and gals can get a mortgage. Even you guys and gals can buy real estate, okay? It's very simple. I'm not going to get into exactly how, but if you want some information on that, or you're like, man, can you show me how to buy a property? I'll show you. Yes, we'll show you how to buy a property. Don't need the bank's permission. You can even use some of the government programs that are out there, but you definitely need to plug in to a lending company, VIPexecs, Realty Lending and Investments, to help you get that done very quickly. All right. You want people that have been in the business a couple of decades. Obviously, everybody comes aboard to get our marketing and all that good stuff. That's for our buyers, investors, and mentees at the end of the day. Little introduction to myself, right? And Miss L, who is the broker of VIPexecs Realty Lending and Investments. Right there's the mentoring QR code that you can scan. That's right. That's for the done with you, done for you program. So it's one-on-one mentoring. There's no other program on the planet like it because nobody does or nobody wants to do what we do. Guarantee it. But we're there for you. As I always say, think of it like the Avengers, right? We got our backs to each other and we're taking on the rest of the world to save the world, right? Which is obviously your family and all that good stuff. But it's all based on integrity, loyalty, and communication. Integrity and loyalty need to stay in place. Communication can break down, as I always say, simply because we got families and things happen, right? But that could be repaired to a degree. If it happens too much, then yeah, it's going to be like the first two. If you break the integrity and loyalty, then hey, don't call me, don't call us, don't call our team. Good luck to you, and go have a good life at the end of the day, right? I know I won't break the covenant. We won't break the covenant at the end of the day. If there's a reason for any of that happening, then obviously it's going to happen, right? But knock on wood, it has not happened. But some people are, so at least on our side. Now, I'm not gonna lie, there's other people, right, that will break that covenant of integrity and loyalty, and and it is what it is. Good luck to them. And then sometimes they try to call back 6 months later, a year. Hey, can you help me with this or that? And I'm like, why are you even calling, man? Don't call me anymore. Don't call my team. Good luck to you. Goodbye. Right? That's just the way it is. You got to have your parameters. You got to have got to have rules and guidelines for yourself, right? But there it is, right there. Once again, you could over there. There's considering buying or selling a home, even a refi, any of that good stuff. Reach out to VIPexecs Realty Lending and Investments. Before I continue, I'm almost done here, but there's some awesome information. Definitely take advantage of that information. This is cool too. I'm going to share this with you. 4X is one address. That's a property we visited down in the IE. Definitely still working on that one, but there's definitely potential for that for a co-living type of arrangement, right? They're not very good operators, so it'd be good to step in to co-live it. Or turn it into maybe not assisted living, maybe a sober living, or maybe an assisted, maybe an autism house of some sort, right? But the exit strategy is right there. It just says, bring your exit, we'll pay for the deal. That's what we do, right? But I will say, take the challenge today. You're probably thinking, what the hell is the challenge, right? The challenge, the challenge. It's the Amp Live Real Estate Challenge is what it is. I'm going to help you. We're going to help you. We're going to help you get your first deal in 30 days, or at least, hey, talking to sellers in the first 30 days, writing some contracts first 30 days. You might even just get it accepted in the first 30 days, right? It's all going to depend on you and how fast you're really willing to learn and wanting to roll and move forward. Now, obviously, I'm not going to bore you with all that crazy stuff right there, but it's cool. There's a lot that comes down the wire that we're going to share with you in easy, digestible chunks, right? I always say, well, how do you eat an elephant? Look, if you're watching this and you see this, do me a favor and type it in there. Say, hey, how do you eat an elephant? If you know the answer, then basically put it in there. But how do you eat an elephant? You ready? One bite at a time, right? One bite at a time. That's how you eat a freaking elephant. Some people, I don't care what programs they are, or just people, they're just going to give you a fire hose. They're going to drop the whole elephant and say, there you go, eat that thing. Well, where do I start? Where's the instructions to start? What's the best part to start on, right? How do I start? That's just the jam for everything in life that you do, including real estate investing, programs, and all that good stuff, right? But I'm going to go ahead and share one more thing with you, or actually a couple more things, right? I'm going to share with you how everyday Americans are buying houses. That's right, without banks, and why mentorship matters in real estate. I'm going to go back up here because I want to share this again. This is
Sold as is. 3 value adds included. Buying it as an investment. 404,424 is legalized. $339,784 as a 2-1, both numbers published.
And they're everywhere.
Buying it to live in. Make it yours, then put family or rental income in the backyard. 1 lot, 1 mortgage, 1 tax bill,
right.
1 house, up to 3 units. For more details and to view, text 909-341-6629.
There she blows, right? So let's get into this awesome juiciness and wrap it up here, okay? Because we're already at 44 minutes or something like that. All right. So now that you know where the deals are at, right? So let me show you what happens when you're sitting across from the seller, right? Just some little pro tips. Not going to dive deep into it, but if you want to dive deep in, you go to the Facebook group, or you just become a mentee or a student of some sort, and we'll rock and roll with you. You can always, hey, pick my brain, book 15, 20, 30 minutes of your time, and I'll point you in the right direction, okay? Now, this is the offer ladder. Now, nobody does what we do. This is what's called the offer letter, the AMP Live method. 9 rungs, if you want to call it that, right? The key principle, you start with the simplest offer first, right? And you work your way up. Now, every rung solves the seller's problem in a different way. By the time you've walked the full ladder, the seller has every option, and one of them is going to fit. Now, look, I'll be honest with you, full transparency, right? Not every deal is going to close. It's impossible. No one's going to have 100% closing ratios, right? You may start off pretty shitty at 20 or 30% closing ratios until you get better and better and get to 40, 50, 60, 70, 80%, right? And it's definitely possible, right? It's not impossible to get to 70, 80% closing ratios, maybe closing 8 out of 10 deals. But there is a method through it, right? There's a method to it. There's a process to it to even get that far. And you may or may not know what I'm talking about, but that's okay. That's not for today's show. Every rung solves a problem in a different way, right? So let's keep on rocking here. Rung 1, rung 2, and 3, right? Cash 1, cash offer, cash 2, cash offer, cash 3, cash offer are highest and best. Rock and roll, right? Different cash offers at different price points and terms. Different close timelines, different contingencies. Most sellers expect to hear 1 cash offer, and that's it. It's either on the phone, they get pissed off and they hang up, or they'll take it. 9 times out of 10, they won't, but it is what it is. You just pissed off the seller, or maybe, whatever, for whatever reason. And then it goes from there, right? So we give them 3, right? Clean, professional, and it earns the right to introduce what? The creative side. Because we want to put the dirty on there, right? We want to put the ugly on there. At the end of the day, this is the ugly part. If you want something fast, 21 to 25 days or so, we can get you cash and close if it's going to be all cash, right? Now, if none of these 3 cash offers work, right, you've set the baseline. So now the conversation opens up. Opens up for what? My favorite, subject to existing financing or seller financing. It's called creative real estate investing. The some cash now, some cash later. This is the bridge between cash and creative. The seller gets money at closing and money over time. For a lot of sellers, this is the first time they even heard of a structure like that because they don't know. It's not their business. That's not what they do. So this is what we do. And money over time, right? So for a lot of sellers, the first time they hear this structure, it's all or nothing type of thing is what they're thinking. It starts clicking in their head. I don't need all the money right now. You're right. I need some money for this. I need some money to pay off my car. I need some money for credit cards. I need some money to be able to move into a rental or some other things, right? I need money now. Sometimes it does solve the I need money now, right? Problem while giving them better terms. It's like I mentioned on another one, we're looking at a townhouse in, I believe in the IE. And it was about we'll give you the price, but you give us our terms, and that's how it works, right? Or vice versa. Give us our price, and then you tell us what terms, and we'll go that route too. But it works, right? So rung number 5, subject to. taking over the existing mortgage. The seller's low loan rate, right? There's a lot of them out there that are 2.5, 3%, 4%, 5% interest rates. Some are at 6 and 7, believe it or not, and they're kind of toast. They're stuck. They're gonna, it's gonna be hard to sell in that manner. And some of them are turning into short sales and things of that nature. But I'll leave that for another show. Maybe Friday for Friday highlights, right? But the loan rates are staying in place, right? This payment stays low. One property with a 2021 vintage loan at 3.2%. This is where the 85 $70 was it 85? I'm not even going to talk about that advantage part because all we're doing is talking about what it would be at 3.5 opposed to 6.7. It's like $800,000-$900,000 difference in mortgage payments, right? But that does add up. Trust me when you start adding that stuff up, right? Now the run number 6 is seller finance, right? So seller finance becomes the bank. No new loan, no bank qualifying for a free and clear owner. Carrying the note is often a tax win. At the same token, they're used to getting probably money because they're probably landlords 9 times out of 10, right? They spread the capital over the capital gains hit over the years instead of one lump. You solve the tax problem. They solve their access problem if that's the case. But a lot of times you got to remember, and I say it all the time, not to offend anybody, but landlords, whether it's a slumlord, an awesome landlord, or a cool landlord, or one that takes care of their properties and clients is totally different. The ones that do, they're going to get what they're going to get. It's awesome. And then others, when they're ready to sell, it's like, man, the house is in disarray, needs all kinds of work, but they still want, they think they have a bag of gold, but it's more like a tainted bag of gold, right? You got to do a lot. You got to do a lot to get that full bag of gold, right? Because they just let the house, go into distress at the end of the day. But they still want what they want until they actually have to sell. Either bite the bullet and they got to fix it up and do what they need to do, or they end up taking a discount after all the struggling and, crying and whining and all that good stuff. It happens. But the lower risk for both sides, right? The right tool when the seller isn't ready to sell it right, but needs help right now, and it doesn't always have to be just for NODs, right? It doesn't have to be for notice of defaults. It can be for, probate. They usually want the cash. Sometimes they're a little delusional as well. They want the cash and, they want $1 million for their $500,000 property. It's not going to happen. Some of the heirs sit there and go, oh, you know what? We can fix it. We can do this and we can rent it. And they're going, no, we're not going to do that. Then why don't you buy it? Oh, I can't buy it. I don't have the credit. I don't have the money. Why don't you just let me do this and this and that? And, at the end of the day, it just turns into a giant shit show for some of that stuff. And then it just ends up getting sold for cash at the end of the day. Even when they try to fix it up and they try to rent it, I've seen properties like that where we made offers and then 6-7 months later, a year later, they're going, hey, you want to buy this property? Why? What happened? They're trying to rent it and became a giant job and all kinds of ugly stuff happens, right? So let's get back to it for rung 8, right? We keep on going down the AMP Live offer ladder. Marketing agreements, novation style structures, right? You partner with the seller to add value, rehab, relist, reposition, and split the upside. No acquisitions required. The seller keeps title while you bring in the execution. Awesome, right? Now, number 9, last but not least, at the end of the day, you're working your butt off, even if you got 60, 70, 80% closing ratios, and this just can't make a deal happen. So we bring in VIPexecs resources. If none of the 8 creative rock and rollness rungs are off part of the offer ladder work, and sometimes they don't, VIPexecs Realty Lending and Investments can still help, right? We can list the property, connect them with the lender, provide resources, my resources, their resources, right? The seller came to you needing help, or you went to them, doesn't matter. Bottom line is they need help, and you have what it takes to make it happen. They leave with a solution, even if it's not a creative deal or a cash deal. That's integrity, right? That's how you build a reputation. Now, 9 rungs, cash first, creative next, VIPexecs as the safety net. The seller sees every option. One of them fits. That's the AMP Live method for you, okay? Now, obviously, got something extra for you. This is awesome because when we're doing these deals and we're rocking and rolling these deals, sometimes, hard money is not the answer. Private money is a better answer. Structuring deals with what I like to call friendship deal investors, how to become a friendship deal investor. I'm going to share. I'm going to touch lightly on that very, very quickly. Make sure I got the right thing up here. So when we're talking about even deals like this that you can see on the screen, right? These are going to come down the wire, where we need to work some deals together, right? And this is the thing. Friendship deals, watch the blueprint, right? I believe there's probably a link that I'm going to share with you. Make sure where's the link. I got it. Let me see. It's going to be right here. I'm going to put it in the chat. That'll probably save you an hour's worth of time, where I'm not going to have to explain it to you. You just watch the video. And if it sounds like you, then let's rock. Okay, there it is. So I'm just going to touch bases on it. So I want to shift gears for a moment. Now, we've been talking about how to find deals and how to structure deals. Now I want to talk about a different door and for a different kind of person, okay? It's not going to be for your ones who want to get into the business and fix and flip and do all the wholesale stuff and everything, right? Back in March 2023, I did an episode called How to Become a Friendship Deal Investor, okay? I'm going to pin the link like I already did. It's down in the chat, so definitely jump on that and watch it. That episode lays out the whole blueprint, right? And here's who it's for, right? I'm going to share this with you real quick. Now, if you're watching this show and you're thinking, Eric, I love the math, I love the mission, I believe in what you're building, but I do not want to fix and flip. I do not want to pick up a hammer. I do not want to hunt for deals. I don't want to run a freaking project and deal with babysitting and crybabies and whiners and contractors and blah, 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 everything else that goes with it. I don't want to have to learn how to structure a freaking transaction. I don't want to deal with any of the freaking drama or crybabies and whiners. I just want to put my capital to work and let the operator operate and do their thing and let AHA rock a deal, right? That's called a friendship deal investor. That's a coin that we have termed for several years now. And you'll hear about it through, if you watched any of my marketing or watched any of the trainings in the past and things of that nature, and that you probably heard of what a friendship deal investor is, but maybe not to this extent. So basically, this is how it works. How does a friendship deal investor work? What is it about? Who is a friendship deal investor? It's the person who just wants to write a check and get a check back, right? Then we roll those funds 2 or 3 times a year. Or you invest on a longer horizon, 3 to 5 years. Either way, your capital is deployed in real property, backed by a real team with a real track record. And here's what makes it different from a fund, right? It's not a pool where your money disappears into a black box. It's a deal-by-deal relationship. We work together. You're going to know what's happening, right? You're going to get updates and all that good stuff. It's between a couple of human beings, right? You bring the capital, we bring the deal. The underwriting and execution and the team. VIPexecs Lending and Real Estate Investments handles the brokerage and putting it on the market, helping getting it sold and all that good stuff. And the lending side, getting those people qualified. So it's like it's a small village rocking and rolling to make these things happen. Okay, step into excellence at the end of the day. Now, this is a selection process, by the way. It's not a pitch. So everyone wants to be an investor. Remember that. Everybody and their mother, everybody I talk to, want to be an investor, I watch this video, I watch YouTube, this and that. Not everybody should be, okay? We're selecting and we're evaluating, and you're evaluating us, right? We're selecting you and you're evaluating us and you select us. That's how integrity works, right? It runs in both directions. Now, the pathway is simple. Step 1, here we go. You ready? This is what I need you to do. If the friendship deal investor intrigues you or you want more information on it, I'm going to go ahead and pull this up here. So you can see this. It's going to say, why me? And it's simple. Step 1 is educate yourself. Watch the OG episode that I put in the link down below on YouTube. It's free. Step 2, join the VIP buyers list and become a VIP buyer. Become a VIP buyer, even if you're not going to buy anything. Just so you'll know and be part of it, and you'll know it so we can send you those deals. So when we find a deal, right, you're going to see it first before the MLS, before it goes out to anybody else, before it's marketed to the general public, and then just DM the word buyers. Step 3, so you can do that if you want to get on the VIP buyers list. DM the word buyers, okay? So I'm going to put that right in there. Oh, actually, we'll put this right up here for you. And I'm going to put it in the chat. There you go. Okay, so DM the word buyers. And step 3, a private conversation. Very simple. Not a webinar, not a group call. It's a real conversation to see if it's a good fit, period, for you and I and us. DM the word investor. Now, it's 4 values that we believe in. It's obviously part of our credo for Americans helping Americans, one American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, right? Doing our part to get America back on track together with you and others across the United States of America. But it's also our credo and is our cause and mission. Freedom, integrity, loyalty, and communication. Which I mentioned before. Communication can break down, be repaired. The other 2, integrity and loyalty, cannot be repaired. We never break those. That's the covenant. You'll never guess where we stand. You'll never have to guess where you stand, I should say, right? Because we're working together. It is a covenant together. That means, hey, there's a place at the table for you, and we're gonna work together to make things happen. You're gonna put your money where the mission is, and that mission is what? Is helping our fellow Americans, right? Helping other fellow Americans in this business. by rocking deals and helping property and putting them back onto the books is good and things of that nature, right? So you can definitely watch the blueprint. You can go to YouTube, and I put the link inside of the chat, so definitely jump on that. We got one more segment before we rock and roll and wrap this up. It's going to be the weekend gear up, okay? Let's get geared up. You need to get geared up for the Amplified Real Estate Show. You need to get geared up just so you can get out towards the weekend and rock some deals, right? So what we like to do is what I'm going to share with you right now, right? You ready? All right, let's gear up for the weekend. 3 things you need to do. I'm going to challenge you before Sunday night. Number 1, pull an NOD list for your county. You can go to any type of software. Go to PropStream, go to Deal Machine, go to, I don't care, I'll even say Deal Sauce. You can go to Batch Leads. But make sure you find, you can go Property Radar. Those are all pieces of software. Yes, they're not free. You got to pay for them, and you can go ahead and pull up an NOD list in your county. Now, you can do free elbow grease if you want to go directly to the county assessor and go to the courthouse and try to look those up. You can. That's free elbow grease if you don't have any money. But if you're in California, go to your county records, go to your county record recorder's website, and then there's or use it, like I mentioned, use a piece of software or a data source, right? Look for NODs filed in the last 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days. Sort by zip code or wherever your area is and what you're looking for. Write down 5 addresses with the estimated equity of above $50,000. That's your weekend list, period. Doesn't have to be too difficult, right? A handful. Number 2, skip trace those 5. Maybe 10, 15, 20, 100, 500, I don't care. But I doubt you're going to get through 500 on a weekend unless you're using a system and some AI to make it happen. Now get those phone numbers, okay? It's under $1 per record. It's literally pennies on the dollar to get those records. You're going to get some emails. You're going to get some telephone numbers, cell phone numbers, voice over IP numbers, landlines. Call them all, okay? You now have 5 motivated sellers with phone numbers in your hand. Easy peasy, right? Number 3, make 1 call using the friendship opener. Friendship deal investing. Okay, check this out. Don't even call that. That's wrong. Okay. It's not the friendship opener, right? What I call is the Amplified method. It's called the mission is the submission. In other words, if you haven't been trained on it, hey, watch the video. Go watch some videos on the mission is submission through Amplified and the Amplified media and the American Mentee Program. But here's just a little taste of it, okay? Now, you can do it a few ways. There's a few ways, but I'll give it to you here. Hey, hi, my name is Eric. I noticed your property is blah, 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 123 any house came up on public records. I'm not pressuring here. I'm just here to see if there's a way I can help. Or you can say, hey, you can make sure you call the person, make sure you got their name, make sure they own the property and step into it, and then see if they're interested in selling the property. At the end of the day, if they're trying to hang up on you and all that other good stuff, you need to go to the juggler. You need to let them know that according to courthouse records, yes, the bank has put a foreclosure, NOD. They recorded NOD on your property. Have you taken care of that? They may get pissed off. They may get angry. They may hang up on you. So what? Call them back. All right. These people need help. And if you don't help them, someone else is going to help them. And they may be unscrupulous. They may be dishonest. They may not be as honest as you or even us when we're working with those people, right? To a fault. I'm not going to lie. We've been burned before in the past with, sellers and things of that nature. It happens. So, that's why you got to be with the team that's working with you, right? At the end of the day. So that is something that you can do. It's very simple. It's not hard, right? Not everybody. There's going to be a lot of people that, yes, this is what happened. There's a story. The whole goal is to get them to tell you everything from birth until now. And they'll share that with you. Okay. They truly will. 97% of humans are kind and nice. 1 to 3%, a-holes, jerks. Got to watch out for them. It is what it is. Those are what we call red flaggers. Okay. Move on. 1 call, 30 seconds before Sunday night. That is the assignment for you. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can put this. Let me see. Put my mug up here. So very simple. Okay. I don't like that, but the light is shining in. Right. Here we go. We got the chair. Now, usually I stand up and I do these lives. I like to stand up and do a live. I don't like to sit down very much because I like to move around. I like to get the blood flowing, and I just do better when I'm rocking and rolling when I'm standing up. Okay. But it is set up. It is right here the way it's set up right now. Until I actually change it, and we'll do something a little bit different. But let's go to this real quick. Let me see where we at. I'll put that back up here. And where's it at? Maybe it's right here. Okay, yeah, we'll put this up here. Boom. We'll go back to it right there. And we'll just finish this bad boy up, okay? So 1 call, 30 seconds before Sunday night. That's the assignment. Easy peasy, right? Now, in this weekend on the Amp Live show, tomorrow's Saturday, so Saturday field and training day, right? We're going to go into the field. We're going to be talking to sellers. We're going to jump on there. A lot of stuff will be recorded and canned and then probably regurgitated, or I should say, just re-put together and turn it into shorts and monetize, and then put on social media. Now, if you're working with us, hey, you get to go out with us. We get to go rock some deals together. We get to go through the whole process if you become an American Mentee Program, or I should say when you become part of the American Mentee Program and you get onboarded, right? Like a few of the others that we're working with today. Saturday, we actually got to go out into the field. So we'll be, when we go into the field too, right? Whether it's an appointment or you go talk with the seller, we're going to look for some other properties in the area as well. And obviously set some appointments to lock up some more property. Now we're doing the field. Now Sunday, now we're going into the field live. This is true. And may just, come out live and do a couple of live spurts here and there just so you can see it out there. It's always exciting. People like to watch that stuff. Definitely like, love, and share. If you have anything that you want us wanting to see or do, definitely reach out and do a DM of some sort. Sunday is the Sunday sermon, rants, and raves, and the mission. Show up before both of them will build on what we covered today. Sunday sermon seems to be the best day because we get most of the people show up for the Sunday sermon, rants, and raves, according to the statistics or whatever, with Facebook and social media and all that good stuff. And it's one of my favorites as well. Okay, so I just get to hang loose and drop my opinions. So drop your weekend report in the AHA community group. You can go. There's a Facebook group. It should be probably at the top. If it's not, let me do this real quick and maybe see if I can pull this up right here with the captions. That's going to be the Facebook training, Facebook group only, right? So you can do deals. Let me put a QR code up in there as well for the Facebook group. It's going to be up in the top right there. Let me see, did it pop up? Boink, there it is. Maybe I'll show my mug real quick so you can actually see it right there. There it is, boink. You can join right there. It's Let's Share Real Estate Investment Deals Together. Easy peasy stuff, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead. I've got some light shining here at the end of the day. But we'll keep on rocking and rolling. Okay, so let's do this. Let's see what we got here. We'll go back to the top with some juicy
Palmdale,
deals.
SoCal area. Address on any.
All right, so let's get to it. Okay, so drop your weekend report in AHA community group. Put it in there. Share it with me. Drop it in a DM of some sort. I'll read them on next Friday's show. Actually, tomorrow's show. We could do a little Q&A. If anybody sees this, drop it into the chat. If you're watching this now, drop it in the chat. If you have questions, I'll stay on here for a couple of minutes because we're already at 7:05. Okay, and we got to wrap this sucker up. We're right on schedule, by the way. So, but if you have questions about NODs, NOTs, the offer ladder, or anything else in the chat that I've talked about, then I'll take as many as I can. Okay, and we'll just get into it. Okay, as they pop up, I'll start sharing this stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna get some water. I'm gonna crank up some metal, and I'll be back in about an hour. I'm just kidding. All right, so definitely a little Q&A. If you got questions, ask. Take advantage of it. Ask right now. Okay, I'll put this in the chat, by the way. Let me see. It's a little bit different. I don't like sitting down and all this good stuff, but it is what it is. I'd rather prefer to stand. But let's see. Put it right here. Ask your questions. Boom, there it is. All right, now obviously this property is pretty cool. We'll have more properties like this, 3 units, 1/4 acre. Property in all 4 counties. Obviously, there's stuff in Texas. Doesn't matter where you're at. If you're in Texas, we'll rock deals. If you're in Florida, we'll rock deals. If you're in Tennessee, we'll rock deals. All right. Let's see what we got. Questions, put them in there. Okay. Ready? Here's one. Where do I find NOD lists? Well, if it's free and you don't have any money, you can use what's called right there. You see my elbow? Freaking elbow grease, okay? County recorder's website for free in most counties, or data services that aggregate and sort for you, right? Some of them do like a same day NOD alerts, like Property Radar. And I'm not an affiliate for any of them. I'm throwing them down there because they were around last cycle. Then a bunch of companies kind of blew them out of the water. So because they're only doing like, trying to gatekeep their data and all this other crazy stuff. And they only did five states, and everybody else doing all the states in the United States of America, download your data, working all kinds of stuff. Eventually they had to adapt, right? So their data is pretty good. They still got some gatekeeping here and there, but it's okay. Deal Machine's cool. Property radar is great for pre-foreclosures and all that good stuff, and probates. Deal machine's great for just getting data and vacates and all that good stuff. Not so good on the pre-foreclosure stuff. It's a little dated unless they've worked on it. I'm not sure. PropStream is pretty good with their data. Just don't. They did buy Batch, so Batch is not bad with their skip tracing and things of that nature. But I wouldn't skip trace from PropStream. Do it from Batch since they own Batch now. Some of their data, is pretty good. It's not too bad. Let me see who else that has some good data. But I would recommend those if you can afford it. It's not that much, $97, and you can pull all the data you want, 10,000, 20,000 records, but you're still gonna have to get it skip trace. That's gonna cost some money. Okay, so here we go. Now, what if the homeowner? Here's another question. Okay, so check this out. Maybe I'll put this in here. I'm gonna say, where do we get? Here we go. I'll put it in the chat. If you got a question, ask. Okay. You can DM for the best software, and I'll share it with you. Because we test this stuff. I mean, I'm not lying. We'll test it for 3 to 6 months, and then if it's good, we'll unleash it to our mentees, and if we can give it to them for free, we do. If we can't, then they just got to pay the fee. Okay. Here's another question, right? Let me see if this is a good one. Let me see. Let me read this real quick. Okay. Well, this is true. This is going to happen to you, so don't trip out. So I'll put the ugly on there first to be transparent with you, right? What if the homeowner is hostile? Some are going to be. That's okay. Some are going to be jerks. Some are going to want to, beat you up. Some are going to, try to put some bad juju on you and all kinds of other stuff. They're just having a bad time, bad life, and it's all because of them. They made their own choices, and I get it. Life happens, right? Oh, so check this out. You're not there to convince anybody, right? You're there to help the ones who want help, right? And if they say no, respect it and move on. There's 200,000 other filings to rock and roll. There's a bunch of, as I always tell people, if it's not going to work out, that's cool. There's a bunch of foreclosures around your house. While we have the money, we'll go spend the money on those houses and not on your house. But since we're here, let's make something happen, okay? And at the end of the day, they're going to be jerks about it. Move on. We call them red flaggers. If they decide to come back, it's happened before. Hey, did I burn my bridge? I'm sorry, it's having a bad day. Because you got to remember, they wake up in a different mood every single day. They're stressed out, okay? You don't know what people are thinking and what they're going through. And some investors are jerks, and some investors are like, hey, you're lucky I'm talking to you. This is the deal. You're going to lose your property. And they try to hammer. We don't do that, right? It's high stress selling along with direct selling. And we got empathy, and we're working with them. At the end of the day, if they can't sleep at night, we won't do a deal. If we can't sleep at night, we won't do a deal. If the investor can't sleep at night, there's no reason to do a deal. We'll walk away from it. It's not worth it, okay? So I'll put that in there too. But that's what you do. You just walk away, and then there's times when they come back. And it's a choice. You have to deal. If they're jerks when they call back, then you know what? Boom, block them or whatever you need to do. But there are some people that make wrong decisions because they're a little delusional and stuff's happening. And I've had it happen before where I say, look, you know what? I'm not going to take it personal. My investors may take it personal, but not me. Let's see what we can do, and boom, lock it up. But the deal changes, the leverage changes. And unfortunately, they're probably going to get less money. It's just is what it is. We're not a charity. We're a for-profit. All right. What else we got? Anything else good in here? Okay. Let me see. We were talking about that today about judicial and non-judicial. California is a non-judicial state, right? Others it takes a little longer to foreclose, and they got redemption rights and all the good stuff. Foreclosure petitions, lis pendens. A good question, by the way. But the principle is the same. Public filings create a list of motivated sellers. Period. Doesn't matter. All right. How do I know if there's enough equity? Okay. So here's something that's pretty cool. Maybe I'll share this with you. It's a question here. It says, how do I know if there's enough equity? Okay. So maybe I'll post this here, but. You can do this with your software that you have. You can use Zillow or Redfin. It's not, or check your own comps, but it's not as accurate. You can check title company if you have access to a title company. You can use the software that I mentioned to check to see if they got equity, to check out some have fields where they'll tell you the notice of default amount that's due. If it's going to a notice of trustee sale, they're not going to tell you the default amount. They're going to tell you the bidding amount and what is owed based on that month when it gets recorded. And then you got to figure out the numbers from there. The best way to do it is, I always say, it's the mission is the submission. Get on the horn. talk to the seller, get everything from birth until now, open the call, discovery of the call, close the call, and then go back and figure out where the pain points are and then provide solutions to the seller. That is the Amp Live method. That's what we do. That's how we do it. I love doing it that way. I feel better about it at the end of the day, and you should too. That's what we're going to share with you. You want results? That's how you're going to get results. You're befriending and building a relationship with the seller and then providing solutions to that seller to be able to work with them. So this way, everybody feels good about what's transpiring, okay? Now, there are times where some people just throw out offers. And they go, oh, I can't. No. They throw offers out and they don't even know what the balance of the mortgage is, right? So you kind of pounding on a dead horse there, right? All right, so let's see. Is there anything else here? Here's let me see. Any more questions? That was a good question, by the way. But I would suggest, use the software that you have, or if you have access to a title company, figure out and pull that information up. But the best way to do it is to get on the horn. Do what I asked you to do earlier. All right. I challenge you to pick up the phone, find some properties, skip trace them, get on the horn, and make some calls. All right. Here's where I leave you today. 200,000 active pre-foreclosure filings in California. Every single one is a homeowner who needs a solution the bank isn't providing. They're not going to provide it. Trust me. Right. And no family member is 9 times out of 10 either. Most investors will never pull the list. They'll never make the call, and they'll never show up. That's awesome. That's what I loved about it when I got started with those type of deals or any type of deals, is I just knew kind of what was happening when I talked to sellers. They go, oh, yeah, I filled out this information and nobody called me. I filled out this information, nobody called me. I filled out this information, nobody called me. But you're the first one who I filled out the information. You call me in 5 minutes. Boom, speed to lead. That is the rock and rollness of what we do and what you should do at the end of the day. But it's the truth, okay? So 200,000 active pre-foreclosure filings in California, and there's even more throughout the United States of America. I think I have the numbers, but I'm not sure. I won't, because I don't want to guess. But they're a lot higher. Trust me. Every single one is a homeowner who needs a solution the bank isn't providing, like I mentioned before. Most investors will never pull the list, like I said, never make the call, never show up. The ones who do, with the rock and roll Amp Live method, and the mission is a submission, and the right system, and the right heart, those are the ones who will close. Those are the ones who will get the deals. Period. That's the bottom line. There's no qualms about it. Now, watch the full Friendship Deal Investor episode if you haven't. It's on YouTube. I'll pop it in there one more time, and I'll put it in the chat. That's the foundation. Everything we teach is built on. The deal follows the rock and roll Friendship Deal Investor. All right, check it out. There it is. Watch it. Full episode right there. You can always DM, get in touch with me. One America at a time, property time, one family at a time. That's not a slogan on a hat. That's our cause and mission. And remember that, in God we trust, okay? So let's keep on rocking and rolling here. We're going to wrap this up really quick. Now, catch us this weekend, Saturday for Field Day, Sunday sermon, and then next Wednesday for Domination Live. That's the Domination Live networking meetup in your area, or you can watch it live here on this on the social media platforms. Save your spot at webinars.amplive. I will actually put that in there too. I'm actually going to put this in the chat. 1 second. Definitely lock those dates in. Oh, I got to put it in there again. 1 second. There we go. Boom. 2 seconds. 3 seconds. I'm just kidding. There it is. It's already there. Okay, let's keep on rocking around here. So we'll go ahead and wrap this up. One American at a time, property time, one family at a time, doing our part to get America back on track, together with you and others across the United States of America. I'm going to go ahead and put my mug up here. Now you can't really see, but I'm going to back up a little bit. So I got the lights the way it is. But I want to say thank you for watching the Amp Live Real Estate Show. Thank you for watching Amp Live TV. Definitely like, love, and share. I talk to thousands of people every year. Our heart is the right spot. At the same token, yeah, we're a for-profit company. We're not a nonprofit, but we're here to help you and others across the United States of America. Even if you have a family member who needs some help, definitely send us the information, and we'll help them the best we can. We'll take care of them just like if it's our own property, and get them moving on with the new chapter in their life. And yeah, even taking care of you with the referral fee, because that's how it works. They're called bird dogs, right? It's a bird dog fee. As I always say, a bird dog is someone who finds a house, gives us an address, and they, maybe even a telephone number, maybe even an introduction to get a little bit more, anywhere from, they get a referral fee for that. At the same time, if you do more work, right, and you obviously lock it up and negotiate it and all that good stuff, then you deserve to get paid more. But 9 times out of 10, you know, a wholesale fee, or I should say a bird dog is a bird dog. That's called a referral fee, okay? There's a lot of people think they should get paid more. There's copy and pasters. There's all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to get into it, but you should get paid for what you do, right? And that means negotiating the deal, locking up the deal, rocking and rolling with the deal. And then once you get it locked up, you got to start marketing and start putting marketing together, and then start pushing it over to dispo and dispositions, and then working with buyers and investors and all that good stuff. And then taking it to what? Yes, COE. So leads to appointments to offers to deals to COE, close of escrow. Obviously, that's a ladder too, right? That's a deal flow and a lead gen ladder, if you want to call it that, along with our offer ladder in the Amp Live method and our mission to the submission, right? The mission is a submission. That's where you make your money, okay? But without further ado, rock and roll in all that you do. Keep on rocking and rolling. We appreciate you. Definitely like, love, and share. We appreciate it. If you would do that, it helps the algorithms, as you know, and all that good stuff, right? Go watch us on TikTok and YouTube and LinkedIn and what else we got? Instagram. There's Twitch. I believe they got some new thing called Kick. I think that's for video games, but there's a lot of politics and religion and crazy stuff starting to pop up on there because it's unregulated, which is cool. Because on Sundays, I like to drop my F-bombs and S-bombs, and on certain platforms, you just can't do that stuff, right? And but it comes from a place of passion. So once again, rock and roll in all what you do. God bless you with abundance, prosperity, health, and wealth. Definitely get your butts out there and rock and roll and do what you need to do. Keep the mind going with some reading, right? As always, got to keep the mind flowing, keep it going, and stay active. All right. So reach out anytime. You can open door policy, do a DM, reach out, want to ask some questions. There'll be a link there. I probably should put it. I'm going to put the last link down there. It's already going to be in the post, but this is a way to get in touch with me. Drop some free, awesome, juicy stuff for you at the same token. I believe, where's it at right here? Oh, where did it go? Okay, I'll put this right in here. This is the application. If you want to join the mentoring program, at the same token, if you just want to book some time with myself and my team, I believe it's in the chat. Let me double check. We can show that right there. There it is. That's for the webinar. And there should be this right here. I'm going to put this in the chat as well. And this is just to book some time with myself and my team, or just ask me any questions, period. If I point you in the right direction, awesome. Come board, rock, cool. No harm, no foul. There's no pressure at the end of the day. That's what I love to do until I decide I don't want to. But like I said, without further ado, rock and roll in all what you do. God bless you with abundance, prosperity, health, and wealth. Keep on rocking and rolling. I'll say thank you to AHA, Americans Helping Americans, one America at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, doing our part to get America back on track together with you and others across the United States of America. And Amp Live Media, a media broadcasting and marketing company that powers Amp Live, the American Mentee Program, and our mentees and others across the United States of America. And our partner sponsors, VIPexecs, Realty, Lending, and Investments, and Luxury Property. Step into excellence. Rock and roll. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.